and welcome to the Final Frontiersman. I am your host, Bill, and I am joined today by a special guest host, a player from our own Star Trek Adventures live action campaign. It's not really live action, but still our live campaign. I would say you would recognize her from the actual plays, but we are 2 years behind on the videos uploaded to the channel, so no, you won't recognize her just yet. However, Liz, thank you. Welcome to the show. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Liz. I play Lieutenant James. Not that any of you will know that, but uh,
Yet. Eventually,
yes,
eventually they will. Also, we are continuing or I should say, we're continuing my computer's dying gasps of breath that's unable to process these videos anymore. So I apologize. My video is probably really going to be stuttering through this. However, um, uh, all I can say is we gotta deal with it. We play the hand we're dealt, right? But uh,
indeed.
today what we're going to do is a follow-up because we had our contest, our 100 subscriber celebration giveaway contest that Modivius, well, again, they're not sponsoring us, they were very kind to provide us with the prizes that we are giving, which is a reminder, it's a physical copy of the rules digest, and it's the print and play PDF of the starter set. So we had 7 entries, which is a great manageable number because the whole point of the contest was share a story of how Star Trek has impacted your life. So with 7 entries, that means we can actually share the stories that were submitted, not really secretly, they were posted on the channel, on the video as part of the contest. So it's all public information. It's all there for anyone to see. So we will share it with you all here because they are great stories as well as our own stories. And then we will do a drawing of our one winner. So good luck to whoever that may be. And thank you all for entering. But shall we kick things off with our own stories of how Star Trek impacted us?
Let's.
Let's indeed. Would you like to go first, Liz, or would you want me to go first? It's your call.
Well, what Star Trek means for me. Really, it's I think hope and acceptance. For me, growing up a bit different. I always found Star Trek the fact that everyone's accepted, not just races, colors, creeds, religions, everything is open in Star Trek, and I think that's a wonderful thing. Um, I love the fact that it's just for me it's a place of hope, like that humanity can be better than it is currently. Uh, you know. Anyway, that's it for me.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's
It's
that's one of the greatest parts. It shows
it's
everyone together in peace, in humanity.
yeah, yeah. I think that's a wonderful thing, and I think we can achieve it. But
Oh, definitely. We have the means, we have the will. We just need the acceptance by society. That's the problem. There's too many people who want to just stir the pot unnecessarily for their own
mm,
personal gain and play people against each other, which is unfortunate because I think deep down people are good and they want to have the future that Star Trek represents, but they're
I think
too
so.
easily swayed by the fears that are stoked by other people.
I will add one more thing though. I
Please.
think my greatest dream, and this is, I guess, not just Star Trek, but my greatest dream would be to travel to another world, to not. I mean, when I say another world, I mean like another either a galaxy or something along those lines. I think it would be utterly fantastic. I mean, I wouldn't need to go down to the planet's surface or anything, but I mean that would be awesome.
Yeah.
But to travel to another galaxy and just see what's there
Yeah.
would be amazing. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway,
This is the kind of stuff I think about, um, literally almost every day. Where out there somewhere there are other civilizations, there are other beings, there are other people or creatures of similar or more intelligence, and they are existing at the same time as us, and we have no idea because just the
mm,
distances are unfathomable. But they're out
but
there,
now,
and there's somebody thinking the same thing I'm thinking. There's somebody looking up at me right now.
yeah.
I
That's
what's that?
I was just gonna say, yeah, it's unbelievable. Like, there's got to be life out there.
There has
Really
to,
does.
has to be. There's no. It
I
would
mean,
be
the
inexplicable if it only happened once here, with everything
I,
that's out there.
I'm not sure if it was in his Cosmos series, but the wonderful Neil deGrasse Tyson, I believe, uh, who's our ship named after, um, went through. If life is a 1 in a million chance, there's so many. He went through the numbers of the number of stars, the number
Yeah,
of systems, the number of out there,
yeah.
and it's got to have happened.
Oh
Like,
yeah. Just statistically,
yeah, it's
it's the miracle would be there not being more life out there. That would be the thing that needed like divine intervention to happen to make sure no life ever happened. I mean, it's just it has to, and that's why I love science. That's why I love watching all the space shows, and of course, like you said, Neil deGrasse Tyson, the name of our ship, which you could see right underneath us there, the Nova class, deGrasse Tyson. If you haven't watched our actual plays yet, definitely an inspirational man for spreading the education of science to the world. So respect him. All right.
me too.
Shall I go on to mine so we could jump to the people who want
Please
to
do.
know the game prize? I have something here I
I think
want
we
to
hold them
share.
in suspense longer.
I think they've been in suspense for long enough with how long this contest is and how long-winded I am to begin with. So this is just going on forever. But I have something I brought here for my Star Trek Impact. Now
Oh, you have show and tell?
I do have a
Oh,
show and tell, but then again, I was preparing for this. You are a special guest host that came in at last
oh,
minute, and I appreciate that for you. So, I mean, don't worry. I actually, now for the viewers at home who are now screaming and throwing popcorn at the screen saying, get on with it. But for the viewers at home, I actually pulled Liz out of bed to come host this with me because I need to get this video up soon. The winners are waiting. So Liz, thank you so much. Yeah, literally pulled straight out of bed. It's what, after midnight for you? What time?
uh, yeah, nearly 1
Yeah,
a.m.
see, apologies. So let me speed through this. Oh my god, yeah. Let me stop talking. So yeah,
All
my
good.
show and tell. Ba 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 ba. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. This is an Entertainment
Oh,
Weekly Star Trek special issue from, if I can remember read that correctly, January 18th, 1995. I bought this magazine off the newsstand. Not this one, unfortunately. I lost mine years ago. This one I
mm,
rebought to get again. But this one, this issue is momentous in my life when it comes to Star Trek. I mean, it's a all Star Trek issue, but there is a section in here as Star Trek Generations is coming out. As you can see, Malcolm McDowell on the cover, Dr. Soren. He's there. This is a big special thing. Next Generation's ending. The movie's coming out, but there
And that was a
was
great movie too, by the way.
I loved it. Yeah, it maybe not a great movie, but it's a
Oh
fun
well,
Star
okay.
Trek movie. It
Yes.
definitely is. But there is an article in here where I'm not going to flip through and get it because I want to speed through here. But there's an article in here where the reporter he goes to the Star Trek website back at a time like StarTrek.com, and they had their chat rooms back then. And he enters the chat room to get to meet Trekkies and talk to Trekkies about Star Trek. And I was reading this. I didn't have a computer back then. I still didn't have a computer, and I rarely used one at school too, just for word processing. And I read that article and him talking with Trekkies from around the world and interacting with them, and the feeling that it gave me of like not just knowing like there are Star Trek fans around the world, but how Star Trek
Yeah.
is bringing everyone together. And now on their website, on the internet, there is a hub where literally everyone who has been touched by Star Trek is coming together and interacting live in real time. And before that, I just had my friends at school around with me. Those were the only people I could talk to about Star Trek. And oh, I wanted to use the internet so bad. I wanted to connect so bad. And I
Hmm.
begged my parents for it. It took a while still. It took well over a year. But eventually I did get one, I think, in Christmas 1997. So about 2 years later, I finally, two to almost 3 years later, I got. I'm pretty sure that's when I got my first computer, and when I got the internet connected to it, 56K modem, blazing speeds back then. The first thing I did,
Uh,
I went to StarTrek.com to go to the chat room, which did not exist at that point after 2 years. However, they did still have an official chat room on like what's it called, IRC network, and that so you have to buy or download another chat client and you just log in through there. And I did, and I met all these people, and I remember there was this one woman named Aurelian, and she just latched on to me from my first time in there, and we were just the best of friends for years, chatting on that site, just coming and going. And I lost contact with her over the years, and I haven't been able to find her again. But it was that moment that really connected me to the world of Trekkies, and just not even the world of Trekkies, but just the world, and meeting people from different cultures, countries, things that I never would have had that opportunity to if I wasn't so inspired by Star Trek. And that
mhm.
magazine was the one that sparked that flame. So that was its impact to me. It connected me with the world, it connected me with people, with cultures, with ideas that I had never even considered, because growing up in my little corner of the USA, there's so much out there that I never even knew about until I met all these people, and changed my life. Changed my life, hopefully for the better. But it did change my life. So that's my story, and I'm
I
sticking
like to
to it,
think.
as they say.
Well, I think that's a very positive story. I think it's wonderful.
Well,
But
thank you.
I think it would be hard for people not to be changed for the positive with Star Trek. I
Definitely,
think for
yeah.
the most part, it's a very, very positive um, foot they're putting forward. Um, and, questioning societies, not societies, but questioning societal rules,
Mm.
or norms rather, um, saying why are these norms there? Star Trek with the first kiss of a black woman.
Yeah,
Um,
first
so,
interracial kiss right there.
or at
Yeah,
least on screen.
yeah.
Um, so all those sort of things. Um, uh, DS9 with Terry Farrell, uh,
Yeah,
with
that was a huge deal back then. There with
mm,
her former host's lover in their new bodies
yeah.
reuniting. And there
So
was
things,
that, yeah, the first lesbian kiss, and that was huge. There was such a backlash. And again, in my corner of the world, the people I know, the people I was hanging around, the people who were comfortable, nobody was sharing that kind of stuff. I didn't see any kind of same sex interactions
mm,
in my day to day life. And so to see that on Star Trek, I thought this is wonderful. Look at what they are showing to the world, that there are so many different ways of living out there that are normal.
yeah, it's like I said, it's a very positive all round show.
Yeah.
Um, I think they're about to join me again, but I do apologize earlier while you're talking. I had a cattail
Yeah.
go across.
I saw the
Um,
tail like fade in and out there. Yeah. Well, that's what cats do,
so
like you said, right?
yeah, I do apologize. I've got two cats, and they're very curious as to what I'm doing up at this hour of the morning. And
Yeah. Yeah, like what's happening? All right, well then let's get on with this. Let's go into our submissions. I'm going to try read through them quickly because I thought they were great stories. I'm not going to dwell on it and make my stupid dad jokes about things as I read through. I'm just going to read through it. I want to thank everyone who commented, everyone who entered. There were other people who did not want to enter because they already own the stuff or they don't need it, but they still commented, and I appreciate it all. Really, the goal of this channel is to just talk with Trekkies, and that's why that magazine I showed you is why I love connecting with other Star Trek fans, and that's, I mean, this contest it did exactly what I wanted it to do. It got fellow fans talking, so thank you for that. All right, enough of that. Let me just jump in. I'll just read. I'm just going to go in chronological order, the way they were submitted in. I'll read the story. I'll try to go quickly. I'll read the first one. Liz will read the second and third, and then we'll go up. Again, there's only 7 we're going to go through, and most are pretty short. So I think we could get through with this in a little bit, but I just want to share their stories in case you didn't see the contest video and you didn't want to read it. But I think these are great stories. Okay. So here I go. I'll start number one. Number one was submitted by user Jarek. I'm going to mess up everyone's name, I'm sure, or everyone's username. However, Jarek was the first one. Jarek writes, Star Trek helped me overcome terrible anxiety and become a more effective leader. In the mid 2000s, I was promoted to chief of police of a small city under 30,000 population. I had been an officer in this department for many years, but my responsibilities rarely extended beyond supervising the officers of my assigned shift. After becoming chief, I had trouble delegating duties to the command staff because I felt personally responsible for everything that happened, whether I was on duty or at home. I was constantly worrying about worst case scenarios. One night, when I couldn't sleep due to anxiety, I was watching TV and started watching an episode of TNG on BBC America. It allowed me to relax and stop stressing about my fears for a little while. I made it a point to tune into the show whenever I could. Every episode I saw Captain Picard be the leader I wanted to be. I could empathize on the deepest level with his desire to always join the away teams, but he was able to delegate those duties and demonstrate his faith in his crew. He provided different styles of leadership to different crew members based on their personalities and situations. He sent his people into harm's way because that was his duty, but he did everything he could to make sure they were well prepared. I did my best to model those traits, and it helped me get past the anxiety and self-doubt. I've since retired from that position, and I'm now working in a different field, but I still remember and try to practice the lessons in leadership I learned from Captain Picard. Beautiful story. Love that. Great way to start off the
it is.
contest, too. Okay. Liz, would you like to take the second entry?
I would.
You
Just
and your
bear with
cats.
me 2 seconds
Yeah.
while I just put my little furry companion down. Um,
Okay.
I saw him jump up just as you were finishing up, and I was like, "No, please don't."
Yeah.
Anyway, so I apologize about that again.
No problem. Yeah, don't worry.
So the second one we have is from uh, David Meerman, and I do apologize. I'm probably going to mess up some names too. Um, I'm terrible with names. Um, so this one was about a month ago. Uh, I've been a fan of, sorry, I'll start it again. I've been a fan since childhood, especially TOS. Um, through, though I've watched most of the other series. When my kids became teens, we've started rewatching of the whole original series with my kids. We recently finished. It was uh, a great family bonding experience to rewatch with my own kids, having originally watched with my parents and siblings as kids.
That's the true
Well, as
next
a kid.
generation. That's it. Generation by generation
Mm.
sharing it. That's beautiful. All right. Again, in the interest of not wasting people's time, I'm going on to the third entry. Third entry was from a user Robin Zen. Robin Zen. Robin Zen writes, just found this channel while learning about Star Trek Adventures in preparation for my first time running and playing the RPG, so the timing couldn't have been any better. Star Trek Enterprise was already in full swing by the time I was getting into Star Trek courtesy of Next Generation and Voyager reruns, so I'm definitely on the younger side of the Star Trek fans, which actually leads into my story. Unbeknownst to us at the time we met, my best friend in school was actually named after a Star Trek character. Her name was an abbreviated form and adjusted from Tasha Yar. This led to quite a conundrum for me, since I had to choose between not wanting to suggest that her parents named her after a character with a rather anticlimactic original death, or getting the ability to tease her over the fact that the character was named that she was named after died multiple times. Although it never became the strongest part of our friendship, we still make Star Trek inspired greetings and quips at each other whenever we catch up, and has become a solid facet of our bond. As an aside, her brother and some of her parents' pets were also named after Star Trek characters, which served as the perfect safety net for my younger autistic self to have a topic of conversation whenever I went to visit. Although I can't aspire to be as successful in my career as those two, who were actually somewhat renowned in their fields, I do aspire to one day leave a lasting legacy of subtle Star Trek references for the next generation to live with. I love that. That made me laugh when I read it the first time. Good story, great story. All right, you want to
Yeah,
take number 4, Liz?
I will. So number four, Mr. Rectangle Man. Um, so again, about a month ago, I remember when I was a little kid, my mum went uh, abroad for a couple of weeks, and it really stressed me out and my sisters. During this period, my dad showed me TOS. TOS again.
Hmm.
Um, that's actually how I started personally. But anyway, um, I remember thinking that the concept was cool, but it didn't really grab me.
Hmm.
It wasn't until college that I started watching TNG and DS9. DS9, my favorite. I love the contrasting views of TNG and DS9, falling in love with the characters like Geordie, Worf, Jadzia, and Kira. Everyone loves Kira. Um, After that, I became a lifelong Trekkie, even convincing my older sister, who isn't sci-fi at all, that's impressive,
Yeah.
to watch Star Trek. Um, sorry, to watch all Star Trek content. Uh, we've loved, we love the character of Worf, and the children of immigrants. We really, oh, lost my place. Sorry, apologize.
Yeah.
This one's a big, like not a big one, but a reasonable one. So I've just lost where I was. Um, yeah, we love the character of Worf, and as the children of immigrants, there we go. We really related to the complex relationship with the culture
Mm.
that he didn't grow up in, and especially learned secondhand. Uh, with the release of Strange New Worlds, I also found it uh, to be a great bonding point between me and my dad, and really love being a second generation Trekkie. Nice. Um, the next generation, if you will. Um, as a long-time D&D player with D&D OGL issues, I've started exploring other systems and stumbled upon your Star Trek Adventures choosing a core rulebook uh, video and really love your content. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for creating your content.
And thank you for commenting, Mr. Rectangle Man. That's nice. How nice. Or kind. Kind people. That's Star Trek fans for you. All right, number 5. Number 5, the name I'm probably going to destroy is Jan Simonetti, potentially. And he, or they, I should say, right? I dressed up as Captain Kirk for a costume party, but everyone else was dressed as superheroes or cartoon characters. Despite feeling out of place, I embraced my Star Trek fandom, and it was a great night. But I didn't win the costume contest. I felt like I had let Captain Kirk down. But then, as I was leaving the party, a group of strangers stopped me and asked to take a picture with me. They told me that they were huge Star Trek fans and were thrilled to see someone representing the franchise at the party, and I realized that even though I didn't win the costume contest, Star Trek had impacted my life in a way that I never could have predicted. It had given me a connection to people who shared my interests and the way to express myself in a fun and creative way. And at the end of the day, that's all that really matters. Beautiful. Love it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yep.
All right. Stanley Barnes, 3 days ago. Right. In the 1970s, I first watched an episode of Star Trek. I cannot remember which episode it was. That's not surprising.
Yeah.
1970s.
Yeah.
It was the warp jump. But the warp jump changed everything for me. It opened up my imagination to new worlds, both sci-fi and fantasy. It was life-changing, and my lifelong love for both genres may be attributed to that very scene.
Oh wow, yeah.
So sort of what I said before with
yeah.
Traveling to new worlds, like
yeah, same thing.
How can
for
you not
Stanley.
want to?
I know.
Yeah.
If you see that possibility is there, don't you want it? Don't you wish it happened? Yeah. Oh. Okay.
It frustrates me. We've sort of stopped going to the stars for now.
Yeah.
We need to go back out there. We need to see what's around us.
For many reasons, it's important that we look beyond our own planet, especially now. So, we should do another video about that. We should get Neil deGrasse Tyson on here and talk to him about. Okay. But, I'm rambling now. Okay, last one. Here's our final entry. CM Mosher or Mosher, not sure. Last entry. I have been watching Star Trek for as long as I can remember, and I honestly can't remember what I first saw. It was either TNG or Voyage Home on VHS. As for what Star Trek means to me, my dad passed away while the second season DS9 was airing, and I really appreciated how it dealt with family, especially Cisco and Jake because of the father-son relationship. It was so warm and loving, and what I was grieving. But there's also the O'Briens and Quark, Rom, Nog. Anyways, thanks for the opportunity to get into SDA. Yeah, DS9 again, we talk about a lot. It has it just a beautiful, richer storytelling that I don't think TNG was able to have because they were too busy building the franchise back up. So DS9 could take what was established and just give us deeper character-driven
I think
issues.
too with DS9 they had the luxury of, because it was all based on the station. Well, I mean, I guess TNG was all on the ship, but they've got a longer story arc, whereas TNG was more episode week to week.
Yeah.
So they developed, not to say that the characters weren't developed on TNG, but they did develop. They pulled out more of the backstories. They pulled out more of the heartstrings
Yeah.
for the characters on DS9 than they ever could have on TNG. I
Definitely.
mean, I will still say it's a very tight contest for me between Picard and Cisco.
Yeah.
I would say Cisco probably still wins.
I think in my book too, Cisco is still. I love them all. Yeah, don't get me wrong, I love them all, but I think my favorite is DS9. My favorite captain is Cisco, possibly Janeway, but. It's really, we're actually going to do an episode on that in the future. So Liz, I would love it if you would join us, or at least join me, because there's a lot I want to talk about. But we got to get to the winner here. We got to get to winner. And plus, I think our Zoom meeting's about to end too. I think I got the warning. So here we go. So here's how we're going to do it. I put all of the names into found a nice website. I will put it in the description for the video here, and it should be on the corner page. The names are inside the box, and I can just in case anyone is suspicious, see names in draw 7, and I'll click on there. Look, you can see all the names on there. Nothing untoward. Now what's going to happen is I click on this screen and it is going to pick one of those 7 entries to be our winner. So without further ado, let me click the box and see who our winner is. Oh, is that who I think it is? Mr. Rectangle Man. Mr. Rectangle Man, congratulations. Fresh from his battle with Triangle Man. So, Mr. Rectangle Man, you were our winner today. So, the physical copy of the Rules Digest, I keep wanting to call it Rules Journal, Rules Digest, and the print and play PDF. So as I said in the contest announcement video, please contact us here at Final Frontiersman with all of your information, name, shipping address, all that stuff, and I am forwarding that to my contact at Modifius, who will then ship it directly to you from their warehouse, which sounds like they're moving warehouse now because Fun Again Games closed, but they said they have a new warehouse, so probably not going to delay you. But yeah, that's it. So Mr. Triangle Man, congratulations. Thank you. And thank you for everyone who participated. Thank you for sharing your stories. And
they were all lovely stories.
They were great stories, so thank you for that. And Liz, thank you for joining me tonight here and getting this video done. Hopefully it'll be up within the next day or two if my computer can process everything. And Mr. Rectangle Man will be getting his prizes sent out within a week if everything goes according to plan. If he contacts us, yeah. And again, if Mr. I want to call him Triangle Man now. I should not have made that joke. Mr. Rectangle Man, for some reason, does not want the prize any longer, does not want to share, or backs out, we will do a second drawing and post that later on the site, just on like one of the simple posts and that. So stay tuned if haven't heard anything. We'll still try getting in touch with him if we don't hear from him. But still, just in case, keep your fingers crossed, just in case, there might still be a chance for everyone. But that's it. Thank you very much. Thank you, Liz, for sharing your story. Thank you for helping.
You're welcome.
And I hope this is not the last we've seen of you here.
Definitely not.
I hope not. But yeah, that's it. Thank you. Congratulations, Mr. Rectangle Man. And thank you, everyone, for watching. And I guess we'll see you in our next video. So live long and prosper, peace and long life. See you.